Today's video includes how each planet was formed, their atmospheres, geology, chemistry, presence or absence of oceans, ongoing natural and chemical processes, whether life exists or not on each planet. Fascinating scientific facts. Introduction: the birth of the solar system. Around 4.6 billion years ago, the Sun was born from a cloud of dust and gas. What remained from that nebula began to swirl around the newborn Sunday, forming a disk of material. Over time, through collisions, heat, and gravity, this material stuck together and gradually became planets, moons, and asteroids. There was a major temperature gradient across this disk. The inner planets, closer to the Sun, formed from heavier rocky materials. The outer planets, much cooler, formed mostly from gas and ice. 1. Mercury, the silent metal world. Formation. As the closest planet to the Sun, Mercury formed mainly from heavy elements like iron and nickel. Lighter ones were blown away by the Sun's intense heat. Atmosphere. Almost none. Just a whisper-thin layer made up of sodium, potassium, and helium atoms that get knocked loose from the rocky surface. Surface. Covered in impact craters, a bit like our Moon. The ground is rocky, made mostly of magnesium and iron-rich silicates. Activity. No active volcanoes or tectonic plates. Huge surface cracks suggest that the planet's core shrank as it cooled. Life? Pretty much impossible. The extreme temperatures, lack of atmosphere, and constant solar radiation make it deadly. But hypothetically, deep inside permanently shadowed craters at the poles, water ice has been found. Could these icy hideouts host imaginary tough bacteria, something like cryotrophs? Pure speculation. Cool fact: Mercury has the largest metallic core relative to its size, about 75% of its radius. It even has a faint magnetic field, probably due to a still liquid core. 2. Venus, the hidden hell beneath the clouds. Formation. Venus and Earth formed at roughly the same time in size, but without a magnetic field and being slightly closer to the Sun, its atmosphere became dangerously thick. Atmosphere. Packed with CO2s and cloaked in thick clouds of sulfuric acid. The surface pressure is 92 times Earth's Dax width, with a runaway greenhouse effect that turned it into an inferno. Surface. Volcanic and basalt-covered, with lava domes, massive flows, and huge faults. Activity. Possibly still volcanically active. No plate tectonics like Earth, but the planet has gone through major surface reboots in the past. Life? The surface is too extreme for life as we know it. But in the upper atmosphere, around 50-60 kilometers high, where conditions are more Earth-like, some scientists believe microbes could float in the clouds. They've even given these hypothetical creatures a name: chlorophogs, microbes that might use sunlight to survive in Venus's toxic mist. Cool fact: Venus spins backwards very slowly and in the opposite direction of most planets. 3. Earth, the cradle of life. Formation. Earth grew by accumulating rocky and icy material. A massive collision with a Mars-sized object is believed to have formed the Moon. Atmosphere. A mix of nitrogen, oxygen, argon, and CO2s. Oxygen buildup came from the work of cyanobacteria in the oceans. Oceans. Earth has a complete water cycle: evaporation, condensation, and rain, which stabilizes the climate and supports life. Surface. A mix of continental crust, granite, and oceanic crust, basalt. Earth also has an active tectonic system. Life? Millions of known species, from bacteria to plants, animals, and humans. Earth is the only known planet with a full biosphere, evolving for over 3.8 billion years. Cool fact: Earth is the only known world with liquid water on its surface and intelligent life. 4. Mars, the lost world of water. Formation. Mars formed from rocky material, just like Earth. But since it's smaller, its core cooled faster, and that caused its magnetic field to disappear. Atmosphere. Thin and weak. It's mostly carbon dioxide, with some nitrogen and argon. It can't hold on to heat, which makes the surface super cold. Surface. Home to the biggest volcano in the solar system, Olympus Mons, and the massive canyon system, Valles Marineris. There are also plains showing signs that water once flowed across them. Water. In the past, Mars might have had entire oceans. Today, it has permanent ice caps at the poles, traces of water vapor in the atmosphere, and hidden ice beneath the surface. Processes. Strong winds, planet-wide dust storms, signs of water erosion, and salty soil all shaping its surface over time. Life? We haven't found anything for sure yet. But out of all the planets, Mars is the top candidate for microbial life. Maybe underground, beneath ice or salty crusts, in hidden caves, bacteria could still be hanging on. Hypothetical creatures. Scientists have imagined Martian geobacteria microbes that might breathe using iron oxide in the soil. Cool fact. In the past few decades, Mars has become the main target for missions searching for life beyond Earth. 5. Jupiter, the gas giant that shields Earth. Formation. Jupiter was the first planet to form after the Sun. Thanks to its massive size, it was able to hold on to light gases like hydrogen and helium. Atmosphere. Full of colorful bands and raging storms. Its layered clouds are made of ammonia, hydrogen sulfide, and water ice. Surface. There isn't one, just deep layers of gas that get denser and denser until they turn into liquid, and then metallic hydrogen near the core. Moons. It has over 90 moons. Europa has an icy shell and a hidden ocean. Ganymede has its own magnetic field. Io is the most volcanically active place in the solar system. Life? Deep down, the pressure and heat would crush anything. But back in the 1970s, Carl Sagan suggested a wild idea. What if, high up in the atmosphere, huge floating creatures, something like balloon beings, could exist? Gigantic gas-based life forms drifting in ammonia clouds, feeding on sunlight. Completely theoretical, but mind-blowing to imagine. Cool fact. Jupiter's gravity acts like Earth's bodyguard. Its presence helps deflect comets and asteroids that might otherwise crash into us. 6. Saturn, the king of rings. Formation. Saturn formed from materials similar to Jupiter, but with less mass. That allowed it to hold on to its stunning rings made of ice and rock. Atmosphere. Layers of hydrogen, helium, and methane. Its cloud tops are made of frozen ammonia and water ice. Surface. None. Like Jupiter, it has thick layers of gas leading to liquid and metallic hydrogen deeper down. Rings. Made of millions of icy particles, stretching over 280,000 kilometers wide, but they're only a few dozen meters thick. Moons. Titan, with a thick nitrogen atmosphere and lakes of liquid methane. Enceladus, with icy geysers, shooting salt water into space, hinting at a subsurface ocean. Life? Not on Saturn itself, but Enceladus is one of the most promising places in the solar system. Its hidden ocean could host halophiles, salt-loving microbes. And Titan? With its thick air and methane lakes, maybe life based on methane chemistry could exist there too. Cool fact. Titan is the only moon in the solar system with a dense atmosphere and rainfall of liquid methane. Scientists believe it could mimic the conditions of early Earth. 7. Uranus, the tipped-over ice giant. Formation. A massive early collision may have knocked Uranus sideways. Its axial tilt is a crazy 98 degrees. Atmosphere. Hydrogen, helium, and methane. The methane gives Uranus that pale blue-green color. Surface. No solid ground, just deep icy layers of water, ammonia, and methane. Temperature. coldest planet in the solar system, dropping down to negative 224 degrees Celsius. Moons. Over 25 known moons, many of them icy, and some possibly capable of cryovolcanism. Life? The atmosphere is far too cold and unstable for life as we know it. But deep within, the pressure may be high enough to form diamond rain. Could some strange life form survive there? Maybe something like crystal-based organisms that get their energy from pressure, like piezoelectricity in crystals. Hypothetical life. Crystalloforms imagined life with crystal structures living in a frozen, high-pressure world. Cool fact. Uranus has a tilted off-center magnetic field that likely doesn't come from its core, but from somewhere in its icy shell. 8. Neptune, the blue edge of chaos. Formation. Neptune formed far out in the solar system, made of ices, gases, and volatile materials. Atmosphere. Hydrogen, helium, and methane. Methane clouds float in the upper layers, along with photochemical hazes. Surface. Like Uranus, Neptune has a rocky core surrounded by thick, icy layers. Storms. It has the fastest winds in the solar system, up to 2,400 kilometers per h. That's faster than a fighter jet. Moons. Triton is its largest and strangest moon. It orbits backwards and has icy geysers that spew nitrogen. Life? Neptune itself is far too wild and violent. But Triton? With possible underground oceans and geothermal heat, it could support microbial life like deep-sea organisms on Earth. Cool fact. Triton may once have been a giant comet, captured by Neptune's Gravitia cosmic stray that stayed. Wrap up. 8 worlds, 8 personalities, 8 mysteries. From the scorched rocks of Mercury to the hidden oceans of Jupiter's moons. From the inferno of Venus to Neptune's raging storms. Our solar system is a treasure trove of science and wonder. And us humans living on Earth are just beginning to uncover its secrets. Out of the 8 planets, 4 gas giants have moons that might support microbial life. And according to some scientific theories, even places like Venus or Jupiter could host strange, floating, or chemical-based life. But for now, Earth remains the only known world with life. And maybe, just maybe, until we start searching for life out there, no one else will be looking for us. Support us with your subscriptions, likes, and encouraging comments so we can keep creating with even more passion and purpose. Every thought you share means the world to us,